We all believe that Linda Gray is a fantastic actress who played the role of Sue Ellen Ewing in the famous show Dallas brilliantly. Her portrayal of Larry Hagman's long-suffering wife was incredible. However, we didn't know that she was practicing method acting, and surprisingly, she disliked it. Get ready to learn more about her journey and prepare to be amazed when you see Linda Gray today at 84 years old. Before we dive into the interesting parts of her life, let's take a moment. I want to share the story of Linda Gray, an amazing and beautiful person. You'll be even more interested to know that she almost died when she was a child. Let's start from the beginning. Linda was born on September 12th, 1940 in Santa Monica, California. And she grew up in Culver City, a small town known for its film studios. This is likely where her love for acting began. Her father, Leslie Gray, owned a watch repair shop that he inherited from his father, who passed away from polio before Linda was born. Leslie taught Linda the importance of patience and hard work, while Linda's traditional mother made sure she took her responsibilities seriously. These values shaped Linda into a down-to-earth yet ambitious person with some hidden emotions. Though she was shy, Linda enjoyed simple activities like helping out at her family's watch shop. She also went to a Catholic school in Santa Monica where she took part in school activities. As a shy child, she loved acting in plays. It didn't matter what the role was, whether it was the Sunflower or the Virgin Mary, she was passionate about performing. Living near Hollywood made her dream of bigger things. Watching the busy streets and the different lives of people inspired her to act. However, it wasn't always easy. Many people assumed she had a happy and free life. Although Linda had a happy childhood with loving parents in a nice neighborhood, she faced a serious challenge. One day, she got sick, and her parents thought it was just a fever. When she didn't get better after a few days, they took her to the doctor. Unfortunately, they learned that Linda had polio, the same disease that had affected her father. Linda's grandfather had the same disease that she faced, but her family stayed hopeful. After a miracle, she recovered and was excited to chase her dreams. Unfortunately, she found out that not all dreams come true, and she struggled to succeed as an actress. Instead, she decided to make the most of her looks and became a model in the early 1960s. Her beauty and confidence helped her become well-known and remarkable. Linda appeared in almost 400 commercials for cosmetic and fashion brands. While many would be satisfied with that success, Linda was driven and wanted more. She decided to pursue acting. Knowing her famous face would open doors, she began with small roles in movies like Palm Springs Weekend and Under the Yum Yum Tree in 1963. These experiences made her realize she belonged in cinema, so she pushed herself to pursue more opportunities. Linda fully transitioned from modeling to acting and began working as a full-time professional actor. While she didn't land any leading roles, she was okay with that. In 1974, she started making guest appearances on TV shows like Marcus Welby, MD McCloud, and Switch. Although these roles were short, Linda saw them as valuable learning opportunities. She made the most of each chance to improve her skills and show that her talent went beyond her appearance. It took time, but eventually, she finally achieved her dream of fame, money, and respect as an artist. This became clear when she landed a life-changing role in the TV show Dallas in 1978, playing Sue Ellen. Linda's portrayal of Sue Ellen, a character struggling with wealth and personal issues, was remarkable. She brought to life the challenges of a character facing a breakdown, showcasing her talent. She struggled with serious issues, including alcoholism and an abusive relationship with her husband. People were confused by her friendly personality, as she had many romantic relationships. However, once we learned more about her personal life, it became clear that she had more in common with her friend Linda than we realized. Her performance in her role was outstanding and received a lot of praise, leading to several award nominations. Linda's role as Sue Ellen was a turning point for her. It allowed her to rise above society's negative views and become a strong woman in a challenge. Sue Ellen was a complex character, dealing with issues like manipulation, betrayal, and alcoholism as the troubled wife of the show's villain, JR. Linda brought this character to life and captivated the audience. Sue Ellen felt sad, angry, and trapped. She said it was like discovering a side of herself she didn't know was there. Playing Sue Ellen was both a success and a struggle. The emotional pressure of the role, along with what people thought, made it harder. Some rumors went around that Linda was having problems with alcohol, and unfortunately, they were true. After playing Sue, she became too connected to the character and started to have her own issues with alcohol. Despite this, she stayed focused on her work. This is an important story about a woman who felt trapped in pain and dependence. Her acting earned her 2 Golden Globe nominations, an Emmy nomination, and awards from Germany and Italy. Despite her success, Linda faced difficulties behind the scenes. She struggled with societal expectations and her own personal issues, which influenced her performances. A major part of her struggles came from her difficult marriage. She didn't just stop at Dallas, she was clever about her choices. She began with small roles in investigative dramas and slowly created a varied acting career. Her big break came in 1977 when she played Linda Merkland in All That Glitters. This was the first time a transgender character had a regular role on American TV. Linda's touching and gentle performance was a significant step for diversity and representation in entertainment. Even though the show was canceled after just a few weeks, Linda remained hopeful. Now that she was improving her skills, Linda faced another challenge, being a woman in the 1970s. Back then, women were often stuck in specific roles that limited their chances to show their acting abilities. Linda needed to overcome this quickly, or she would fall victim to Hollywood stereotypes. On top of that, even after all her hard work and dedication to her roles, she had to deal with a significant pay gap between men and women. In the 1970s, the entertainment industry paid women less and offered them fewer main roles, especially in male-dominated genres. This became clear when Linda was offered a role in a TV show that was supposed to feature a strong, independent female character. However, as the show was being made, the writers and producers changed her role to fit traditional gender stereotypes, which weakened her character's influence. This change happened because of societal pressures and expectations. The industry often hesitates to show women in strong and independent roles. Linda faced another challenge. She was getting older and was losing acting opportunities, even though she was only in her 30s. She noticed that the industry preferred younger women and male actors. However, she didn't give up. Instead, she motivated herself to prove her value and keep her career going. She thought, if I don't show them I can do it, who will? After hitting a dead end in her career, Linda decided to explore other parts of the entertainment industry. She began directing because she wanted to tell stories her way. She showed that even when women face obstacles, they can still empower themselves and become leaders in the industry. Although she moved on from acting in Dallas, Linda didn't give it up completely. Instead, she broadened her opportunities. Linda has played strong roles such as Hilary Michaels in Melrose Place and in its spin-off, Models, Inc. She also portrayed Mrs. Robinson in the West End version of The Graduate. Her work in indie films like Reflections of a Life and Expecting Mary showed her acting range. People often noticed that she picked emotionally deep roles that resonated with viewers. Now, we'll reveal more about the struggles in Linda's personal life. You'll be amazed at how well Linda Gray is doing at 84, especially after experiencing a tough midlife. Get ready for some surprises. Linda met her first husband, Ed Thrasher, in the early 1960s when she was just starting out as a commercial model. Ed was an art director looking for a young model with great legs for Billy May's new album cover. Linda, who was 19 at the time, was just what he needed. The interaction between Ed and Linda was playful and flirty. Ed looked at Linda's portfolio and asked to see her legs. Linda lifted her dress slightly to show her knees, but when Ed asked to see more, she said no. Ed laughed and still decided to hire her. They both liked each other and their relationship developed quickly. They got married in 1962 when Linda was 21 and Ed was 28, and their honeymoon in Mexico became a significant moment for Linda as she began to feel nervous and excited. She started to regret her decision because she knew from the first night that she had made a mistake and that their marriage lacked love. Even though she realized this, Linda felt trapped by what society expected, so she stayed in the marriage. In 1964, they had their first child, Jeff Thrasher, and then welcomed a daughter, Kaylee Sloan, in 1966. As time went on, Linda grew more unhappy and felt like she was living Ed's dream instead of her own. She described her marriage as Linda felt distant and more like neighbors than partners in her marriage. When their kids grew older, she gathered the courage to leave her husband, Ed. In 1983, she told him, "I can't be married anymore," to which he replied, "Okay, do what you have to do." Their divorce went smoothly and Linda moved into a rented house in Malibu as she figured out her next steps. Despite the difficult experience, Linda values the role Ed played in her life and sees him as one of her important, Influences. Barry and Linda, two great teachers, shared a strong bond that was not romantic but very important to their lives. They got married on September 1, 1970, which was also Barry's 24th birthday. Their wedding ceremony was lively and they exchanged vows in Caton Hall, London. Over the years, their relationship grew and they welcomed their first child, Stephen Thaddeus Crompton Gibb, on December 1, 1973. Like many couples, they experienced their own ups and downs, and Barry had been married before. Moran Bates divorced in July 1970, just 2 months before he married Linda. People called Linda a homewrecker, but they decided to ignore the gossip and work through their problems together. Many wonder if they are still together after all these years. Linda was divorced from Ed in 1984. So how could she have married Barry in 1970? The explanation is simple but surprising, and it's confusing enough that it's become a hot topic online. There are mixed reports about Linda Gray's marital status. Some sources say she is married to Barry, while others claim she never remarried. However, the truth is that Linda has only been married once. She also dated Ed Thrasher and met Dan Gordon, a Hollywood screenwriter, in 1996. They began dating shortly after they met and formed a close bond. Dan was very much in love with Linda. He supported her career by taking her to beautiful places around the world, like the beaches in Bali and top cooking schools in France and Italy. He even helped her with her acting by rewriting most of her lines for her role on Dallas. Their relationship was full of excitement and passion. However, after 17 years together, Linda chose to end things over the phone, which left Dan feeling hurt and betrayed. Linda didn't mention Dan in her memoir, even though they had a long-term relationship. This made Dan feel angry and embarrassed, since he had been an important part of her life and career. He believed that Linda had ignored their relationship and left him without an explanation. Linda wrote in her memoir about her late sexual awakening and how, after her divorce from Ed, she was looking at new possibilities. She had several short relationships with younger Hollywood actors that she enjoyed for her own pleasure. However, her life wasn't all happy. She faced many sorrows. In 1989, she lost her sister Betty to breast cancer, which was a very painful experience that made her understand how fragile life can be. In 2020, she also lost her son Jeff Thrasher, who was a creative and vibrant young man that made her proud. He was diagnosed with leukemia and sadly passed away. At 56, Linda experienced a great loss that was hard to cope with, but the support from her grandsons gave her hope during her difficult moments. She recognized her own strength and the opportunity she had to make a difference in the world. From 1997 to 2007, she served as a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador, raising awareness for important projects such as Meals on Wheels and Alzheimer's research. She even volunteered to deliver meals to seniors, a kind act that brought joy to many. Linda's work has touched many hearts and has been a source of comfort for her. She believes that helping others nourishes her body and warms her heart. Linda has always supported women's empowerment even before she fully understood it herself. As a young actress, she began to challenge social norms, and as she grew older, she assisted women facing difficulties by offering housing, job training, and emotional support at reintegration centers. She felt that empowering one woman could uplift the whole community, which motivated her efforts. Gray has worked hard to improve society and the arts by breaking stereotypes about gender and age, especially as she got older. In the course of discussing this topic, in middle age, when many women in entertainment were often overlooked, she continued to take on different roles and began directing, a field mostly held by men. Gray once stated that getting older doesn't lessen your skills. Instead, it enhances how you understand the stories you want to share. Her work has motivated many young women actors to stand up for themselves in a tough industry. At 84 years old, Linda is likely staying active and involved in her community in Valencia, California, where she lives a low-key life. With an estimated net worth of $12 million and her beauty still intact, she spends time at her Santa Clarita Ranch, which has special memories for her. Although she has put the ranch up for sale, she is looking for a place that better suits her current needs. Linda enjoys running errands and staying connected with those around her. She recently appeared at the 2024 Farrah Fawcett Foundation Tex-Mex Fiesta, looking great in a silk shirt and leather pants. Now, at 84, she keeps in touch with her fans on social media, sharing bits of her life and positive messages. Her thousands of followers admire her genuine and warm personality.